here because you care about sustainability and gender equity. And I'm so excited to be amongst you because I share a passion for these topics. I'm sure in your time caring about these issues, you've come across a challenge of making others care about them too. And that's why I'm here today, to share what I've learned in my career working with C-suite executives and elected officials to make them aware, to make them care, and to make them take action fighting climate change in an inclusive way. So you are dedicating a precious part of your weekend to be here, and I want to take time to reflect. When you think about this question, I'm sure you immediately consider your loved ones, your family, maybe your pets, but let's hone in a little bit more. You can close your eyes if you want and think about specifically which topic do you care about? Okay, everyone got it? I want you to hold that in your head because over the next couple minutes, I'm going to give you 3 tools that will help you make others care about this very issue. This photo was taken by Kevin Carter, a photojournalist in Africa. And in one frame, you can see that he's captured a stark contrast between life and death. The photo was published in the New York Times in 1993, and it later went on to win a Pulitzer Prize. It certainly impresses upon us the haunting reality of a war-torn country, and even today, for some of you, maybe for the first time, you're seeing it and you're feeling something. For a lot of these issues that we care about, climate change, equality in the workplace, we face people who are in denial. They can't see it, so is it really happening? It's not happening in my lifetime, so why do I care? And even terabytes of data aren't enough for some people who aren't using rationale, aren't using logic to make up their mind. So what can we do about it? We can catch their attention. In marketing, this is called a hook. And what Kevin Carter did was disturb us very deeply. It was alarming to see that image of a girl on her way to the feeding center collapse with a vulture in the background waiting for her to perish. On the flip side, many politicians excite us. Oops. They create a platform, a future world where we can look at a positive outcome. The number of jobs that will be created if we install solar panels in our city. The women that we can empower if we give them renewable energy stove cookers that will alleviate the time they spend indoors tending to a fire. By catching their attention, we can start to make them care. The problem is there are so many hooks in our society. We're inundated with campaigns and advertisements and information that's trying to make us care. And at a certain point, we have to really disengage. A show of hands in the room here. Who's considered the futility of fighting climate change or maybe feeling like an equal in the workplace at some point and just said, I've had enough? It's okay. This is called disillusionment, and it definitely happens. The problem can feel bigger than any one of us. It's the government's fault. It's someone's fault that we can't control. My favorite one, YOLO. You only live once. What do you do when someone doesn't care because they're so disillusioned? We have to create an experience. And this is so pertinent, especially when we're talking about the invisible. How can you see and smell and touch and feel a carbon footprint or discrimination or sexism in a workplace? In 2009, Flux was created. It's a software program that manages the amount of blue light that emits from our devices like computers and phones. It was a brilliant piece of technology that allows us to mitigate the effects of overexposure to blue light in our modern day world. Unfortunately, no one cared. It wasn't until a few years later that Apple and other phone manufacturers installed it into our operating systems, and it became a default setting on our phones, night shift mode. So now when you look at your phone before you go to sleep, when you binge watch Suits on Netflix, you're actually not, if you have this software, exposing yourself to too much blue light, which can throw off your circadian rhythms. You can see in this photo that the rise and fall of the sun is what the software can mimic for you so that you're not impacting your health negatively. By creating an experience, by making it so easy for us to feel the impact of what this technology could do, we then started to demand consumer products that blocked blue light. We have commercial LED lights, for example, where you can tune the color temperature. We have spectacles that block blue light so that you can work a long workday without feeling the effects of it. And so creating that experience is really impactful. The problem, however, as we all know, is that you can become desensitized. Too many experiences can make you, again, disengage. And that we know as apathy. Society is plagued with apathy. I'm too busy. That's someone else's problem. I simply can't care. Now, at the start of the talk, I asked each of you to think of a topic and hold it in your head. Imagine if I had asked you, what do you not care about? Let's actually try that. Close your eyes if you need to. What do you not care about? It's actually quite hard. We care about so many things, and there's so many worthy causes out there, but at a certain point, we're all employing apathy as a defense mechanism. And I see this happen a lot with my clients. A city manager or a superintendent of a school district wants to implement sustainability programs. They want to install renewable energy. They want to create alternative transportation mechanisms to lower their overall carbon footprint. But when the stakes are so high, when it's a trade-off of dealing with pension problems and figuring out homelessness and affordable housing, or thinking through how they can help improve safety and support different gun control policies, they simply can't think through how to make sustainability happen. And so they accept the status quo. And they do it because that's the only way that they can survive. And so what can we do in the instance of apathy, which is all around us? We can take a very small action. I saw this dynamic play out at a former employer of mine, a Fortune 50 company, and I was in the break room one day grabbing a cup of water, and I realized that the only option I had was a styrofoam cup. And I employed some of the tactics that I've talked about here. I put posters up of this photo that's very familiar to us, oceans peppered with plastic bottles. I created an experience where my colleagues who opted for reusable cups could tick off the number of times that they were preventing a styrofoam cup from entering a landfill. And over time, in people taking this action, we created a groundswell of change. From the break room to our entire building, to our headquarters, and finally across the globe, we had a campaign to have people lug a mug rather than using styrofoam cups. Now, I didn't start by thinking I wanted to create recycling evangelists. All I wanted to do was provide an option that would allow us not to add to the landfills and the overpolluted oceans. But the powerful thing about taking a very small action is that it's often easier, simpler, and more effective than trying to change people's beliefs and perspectives. So now you know the secret to making people care. To battle denial, disillusionment, and apathy, we have to catch people's attention. We can create an experience, and together we can take a small action. I have to say, big issues like sustainability and climate change and gender equity, they don't have a silver bullet solution. But if we can collectively take these steps together, it will create a path of progress for us to all move forward. So you're probably wondering, what is the small action that I can take? Don't worry. Here it is. I want everyone to take out their phones. Yes, I am talking to you. And snap a picture of this screen. Here, I'll pose for you. Okay? Great. And I want you in the next 24 hours to connect with me. Tweet me, email me, find me on LinkedIn, and we're going to continue this dialogue together. I want you to share one idea, just one, that you've taken away from this talk and how you will apply it to the topic that you held in your head, that you care about so much. Here's a bonus. The first 10 people that do this and that find me in the networking session will receive a special prize from me. So I look forward to continuing the dialogue and making people care. Thank you so much.